This is Kansas State running back DJ Giddens.
He's a 21-year-old early declare, NFL size at 212 pounds, 91st percentile jumps, 79th percentile in the 40-yard dash. I'll summarize him in this way. He's a quality athlete. He showcased a diverse skill set at Kansas State, lots of downhill gap runs. They got him on the edge with some pullers. And then to me, he ran a wide variety of routes. If you're looking for like a complete standout trait, I'm not sure if you're necessarily getting one of them, but he does check a lot of boxes. And I think that he'll be able to fit into every single offense that you can go to.
Yeah, usually we wait till the end of these videos. And by the way, if you're new around here, hit that subscribe button to talk about comparisons. Maybe it's the turf tape, but he reminded me of a spectrum of a player from Tevin Coleman to Elijah Mitchell, like that body lean, cut up field. I thought he got tackled a bit too easily one-on-one and his momentum got halted. If he is able to spring through that first and second level and stride it out, then that's when you saw like these long strides for long explosive gains on top of it. And if you just cut up that highlight reel again of the big plays, I think that DJ Giddens would rank highly for a lot of people.
Yeah, I think that his athleticism does go a little bit overlooked. It doesn't seem like he's making a lot of guys missing, but he has this like little like swim move that it does, a little jump cut, couple spin moves on tape, and then he does like run by a lot of guys. It doesn't seem like he's moving that fast. I think it's because he kind of runs a little upright. He's 6 foot. A lot of the guys we're talking about are like 5'8", 5'10". So he runs a little bit upright. I saw the same thing. He's not an overwhelming bruiser type. I think that's because he does stand a little bit tall. But there are some moments where he does actually like show off that athleticism. So one of the guys that was like kind of on my comps based off of size, speed, and a little bit of the playing style. This is more of like an upside case, but Chuba Hubbard is somebody that isn't like necessarily overwhelmingly like a bruiser type, but when you do get him some space to operate, I think his athleticism does get a little bit overlooked. So I don't see a special player here, but I do see somebody that can play in all facets of the game. I do think that his receiving work was at least pretty good.
Yeah, some stats that matter here. Okay, you mentioned that he's 21 years old, 6 foot 212, 77th percentile athlete, which is very, very good. The 4.43 40 definitely stands out, along with the 93rd percentile jumps and then the 36th percentile shuttle. And then some of his underlying metrics are simply fantastic. Like he's 7th best in this class in yards after contact per attempt at 4.16 yards, 0.26 forced missed tackle rate per attempt. 55% of his yards were created on breakaway runs, meaning everything beyond the 15-plus yard runs. That is a third most in this class. I would argue that that might not be as easy or achievable in the NFL level for like the style that he brings to the table. And so it was more achievable at college. And so I'm not sure, like to me, when I always look at all these prospects, how do they win in college? Do they have the traits for that? And can you do it the same way once you get to the league? And I'm not sure if the ways that he won and created all these great underlying metrics is the pathway that you can get to that in the league.
I don't think he's very flashy. I think that's what makes him hard to kind of wrap your head around.
Your point on him like not having one standout trait is maybe what is giving me pause, because I can't point to one standout skill that like makes me want to buy in and like really root for him here on this like singular prospect profile.
But I will say he was still very effective. And I think that some of these little jump cuts, these little swim move I'm talking about, and then some of these breakaway speed where it doesn't seem like he's flying down the field, but he is pulling away from guys, does matter. I think I'll make the case for him in the receiving aspect a little bit. First of all, 72nd percentile in receiving yards per game among drafted running backs. He's got the athleticism to work out in space. There's a couple routes I wanted to bring up. A Texas route where he splits 2 defenders and takes it all the way to the distance for a 50-plus yard touchdown. There's a big wheel route for a chunk gain over a zone defender. Then even out of the backfield, a big out route against zone coverage where he catches the ball over his shoulder. So it wasn't just like the easiest part of the receiving aspect for him. He was actually working a little bit downfield. And I do think that maybe like the reason for some bullishness is it's hard to like pinpoint how athletic he is, but there are some reps that he is actually pulling away. And I think maybe that gives him a little bit more upside. I don't think that he's going to be like a top 75 pick. He'll probably more round 4 than round 3. But if a team is just looking for like a clear number 2 back that can kind of play in every single aspect, I do think that Giddens does check those boxes.
Yeah, just the raw stats, 50 receptions over the last 2 seasons, 21 combined touchdowns, over 2,500 yards. I agree on some of the pass game elements. I also saw, I think he was charted by PFF with 5 drops this past season. He caught just 21 of 34 targets in his direction. And I thought as a pass protector, he didn't bring his feet or
Agree.
anchor as well.
Agree.
So yeah, the long explosions are there. Again, 17.4% of his carries went for 10 plus yards, 12.1% went for 15 plus yards, 8.3 went for 20 plus yards. And I already mentioned all the yards that, like, once he did create that distance, he sustained that distance with those long strides, which it's nice to not get hawked from behind.
And he did make a lot of guys miss. Like his broken tackle numbers are at least average to slightly above
Yeah,
average too. And he's an early declare. That's a positive sign. He does check the production boxes as well. The model puts him in like the 78th percentile. So that's like in the range of guys that like maybe start off as number twos in the league and then could end up being a starter for a team for a year or two. I don't think that he's gonna like completely separate himself from the field in a backfield, but yeah, Chuba Hubbard, Rashad White, Shane Vereen. Like this is kind of like the territory
interesting.
that I'm looking at with DJ Giddens. But maybe I see a little bit more of the receiving game upside with him. But yeah, your point on the pass protection, it does need work. Like he does not play to his size. I think maybe a lot of this just comes down to he's just a little bit taller than your average running back, and many 6 foot running backs coming at like 225, and he's at 212. So he's like more of a slender build for the position.
Yeah, I'll just again recycle the comparisons I made because these guys had moments in the league when it comes to Tevin Coleman and Elijah Mitchell,
Mhm.
like either full seasons or half of seasons, where if you get on a good team, get super hot with the right coordinator, you have great games and great production. But then it can be difficult for those guys to sustain it, either a decline in the system that's around them, because to me, they're just not great tackle breakers or yards created on their own. And I would
Mhm.
throw Giddens on top of that. As the people can tell, we do not share our notes with each other ahead of time. There are prospects that we disagree on. So if you're new around here, hit subscribe. Go watch some more videos on the channel. All the prospects when it comes to running backs, wide receivers, tight ends. We have you covered, plus mock drafts. Check them out. We'll see you in the next one.